If there's one thing you need to know to get rich as fast as possible, it's this. I'm going to be as quick as I can and explain this to you so you can go about your day. Let's get into it. So here you are, and you want to make money. You want to make money, you want to get rich. What I can tell you is the secret to doing this is to acquire the right information so you can inform your decisions to make this happen. So let's say that right now, over here in the universe exists information. Hear me out. If you had access to the brain of a billionaire, you would be a billionaire. Why? Because you'd have access to all of the information that that billionaire has to make decisions that made that person a billionaire. And so what we can do is understand that becoming rich and becoming successful is about making the right decisions. And whether you make the right decision or not in life is about the information available to you. And because there are people on the planet who are rich, we know that the information exists. It would be impossible for someone to get rich if the information to do so was not available to them. And so what we need to learn to do, if you want to get rich, you need to learn how to acquire this information that's over here. So this little ball of thing you can see, let's call this the rich information. This is the information on how to make money, how to build businesses, how to hire people, how to solve problems, how to think properly, how to manage finances, how to build teams. Like, all of this knowledge that is available and out there, you need to find it so you can apply it to your life. So the question is why can't you, and why are you stuck with the current knowledge you have? Well, it's something called an information vacuum. And this is what everybody who basically is poor has in their life right now. A vacuum is like a black hole is an example of this. A black hole is basically a cosmic structure in the universe, and it's basically a massive force of gravity, and the gravity is so strong that not even light can escape. And so a vacuum is basically something that nothing can escape from. And you are stuck in a vacuum. And I'm not talking like a vacuum cleaner. It's a term in physics, so just bear with me. But it looks like this. So here's you here. And here's your vacuum. You can't breach the vacuum. And what this basically means is to acquire this information, you need to go beyond your current realm of informative competence. And what that looks like is basically breaking through your barrier of information so you can seek and peek beyond the walls of the garden that you're currently in. This is why we watch movies. So if you've ever seen a adventure or action movie before, it's predicated and underpinned by something called the hero's journey or the hero's myth, where the hero is living their life and they're kind of bored and they're not very happy and they want to, become something and they want to grow and develop, which is what you're trying to do right now by getting rich and making money. It's the same journey. And what the hero has to do is they have to go beyond the realms of the comfort of their home and family out into the abyss to acquire a piece of information, which is usually acquired through overcoming a challenge, that they can then return home to apply to their life and become this new person. That's what you're trying to do when you're trying to get rich. And it's impossible to do that if you're using the same information, because what you're trying to do right now is get rich, but you're trying to get rich using the information available to you that you've amassed. Here's the truth. If the information you had available to you that you've amassed was information that could help you get rich, then you would have already done it. You'd already be rich because you'd have the information available. So the question is why does this exist? Well, there's a few reasons. First of all, the other people in your life. So you've got friends and family members and people close to you. And all of these people, they are like projections for your current information. Because what these people do is they see the world the same way you do it. Because, you were raised with them, you were brought up around them, they believe the same things as you, you've been hanging out with them for a long time. And so the people in your life right now, they confirm what you already believe to be true. And so when you talk to them about getting rich or making money, they echo the same knowledge that you already have back to you, right? The second thing, as well as the people that are in your environment or that you're hanging out with, that stop you from making money, is your ego. So this is a massive one. This is your ego. Your ego is basically a protective mechanism that prevents you from feeling psychological damage for feeling stupid or basically not being right, and it sucks. And the problem with your ego is right now you probably think you know more than you think, and that is definitely true because you're acting this out. You're trying to get rich even though you don't know how to. And, that's why you're watching this video, and that's why you consume information like this. So you're bypassing the ego already. Most people don't make it past this stage. Most people, they think they already know everything, and they think that they know everything there is to know about making money, and they just can't do it because they're a victim, and that's life, and that's how the way the world works. That's what most people think, and that's why they're not rich, is because their ego stands in the way. And then the third thing It's algorithms. So the big problem right now, especially with social media, is you have algorithms built into your pocket that you basically have in your phone for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. And what these algorithms do is they show you content that is similar to content you already consume. Content, at first principle, is a package of information. And the information that you're receiving through this content, I can guarantee you, is not from the pool that you want to receive it from, because what these algorithms do is they show you more of what you have already seen. And what you've already seen is not conducive to you getting rich, as proven by your broke, miserable existence. So we need to pull information from a third party or an external circumstance. And then the fourth reason that you have this thing is confirmation bias. Let's just call this conf bias. So also known as the inconsistency avoidance or commitment consistency tendency in psychology. You like to confirm what you already know to believe. You like to confirm. Sorry, I'm talking quickly here because I want to get you off of this video as fast as possible so you can go about your day. We like to confirm what we already believe to be true. So we like to gather information, receive that information, and reject anything that basically combats it. And so what happens if you ever receive, so basically we've got these four things, right? So we've got people, we've got ego, we've got algorithms, and we've got the confirmation bias. These four things. So if by chance, by the luck of God, the pool of information that actually would help you get rich seeps into your sort of circle of informative competence, which is denoted by this sort of barrier, this is all the information that can get in. Information, the way your brain deals with information is it's kind of like the sperm and the egg. Not to get too crude here, but the way that the female fertility system works is as soon as one sperm gets into the egg to fertilize the egg hardens and shuts off and no other sperm can get in. And the same thing is true with ideas and knowledge and information. Once you receive a piece of information and knowledge and accept it as true and believe it, you'll reject and your brain basically hardens and you refuse to accept the truth in any other sort of form. And you need to learn to stop doing that. And the egg of your brain, the informative egg hardens, so to speak, because of the people, the ego, the algorithms, and the commitment consistency bias. So in the unlikely event, and sometimes this happens, that you receive information that is contrary to what you already believe to be true, that could actually help you get rich, either the people around you force you to reject it, your ego forces you to reject it because you don't want to admit you could have been wrong, your algorithms force you to reject it because it's not, you only see it once and you never see it again, or your confirmation bias, which is related to your ego, your sort of the cousin of your ego basically, rejects it as well. So this is a massive problem. So what we need to learn to do is a few things. First of all, action step number one, accept the fact that the people in your life, while they love you and may want the best for you, are not actually smart. You do not want to take advice, listen to me, you do not want to take advice on how to get rich from people who are not rich. Stop it. Stop listening to your friends who are broke, stop listening to your parents who are broke, and stop listening to anyone who isn't rich on how to make money. Abraham Lincoln said, "I learn from every man, even if it is what not to do." So if you've got people in your life who are broke and poor, pay attention to them and see what they do and do not do it. Do the opposite of what they do, and that's how you're going to get rich. Second to this, bypass your ego. Admit that you are probably more often wrong than right. And you can either be rich or you can be right. And what I mean by that is you can either be rich in terms of, actually dropping your ego and seeking to acquire knowledge and admitting that you don't know much about anything at all when it comes to the realm of money and finances, because if you did, you'd have money and finances. Drop the ego, admit you're wrong, and you can actually be rich. Or you can live in this delusion where you just feel like you're right all the time, but you're actually miserable because you can't pay your bills. Delete social media, or create new accounts and start looking for rich people shit. So, for example, what I can tell you for sure is I know lots of millionaires. I've got lots of friends that are multimillionaires. We don't use social media. We don't use TikTok. We don't use Instagram. We like our attention spans. We like our brain cells, and we like to keep our brains sharp and active. And we don't want algorithms that polarize us towards ideas that are stupid. Because the problem with algorithms is they polarize you, they force you to accept a duality of existence where you end up on one end of the spectrum and you get jammed there because you see the same thing over and over again, and you become so familiar and safe with this information that anything that is contrary to it, you basically reject. And then confirmation bias. Start looking to unconfirm what you believe to be true. Because here's the thing about the information you have about making money. It's wrong. if it was, and I know that hurts the ego, and I know that might sting a little bit, but if it was right, if the information you had about making money and becoming successful was right, you would already do it, or you'd be well on your way to doing it, and you wouldn't need a video like this. And I'm not sitting here from some high horse, egotistical looking down on you, because I was exactly where you were, and I needed someone to come along, metaphorically, digitally slap me in the face and tell me this: you are wrong. So what you want to do is invert what you believe and accept that as right. So instead of trying to confirm what you already believe to be true, disconfirm it and seek the opposite, because, well, if you're wrong right now, well, what's the opposite to wrong? It's right. So had it ever occurred to you that the exact opposite of what you believe to be true might be the right thing to believe, because what you have right now doesn't give what you want, and what would be the opposite would give you what you want, if that makes sense. So once we've done this, and once you've done these action steps, what it's time to do is open up the chasm of your informative competence, this little circle, this little bubble that you've built, and start seeking information, external information. And basically what this looks like is read books from billionaires and successful people, listen to podcasts from billionaires and successful people, go about your day and just seek information from people who have done what you want to do. And don't reject it because of the people you already know. Don't reject it because of your ego. Don't reject it because of the algorithms, and don't reject it because you don't want it to be true, because you want to confirm what you really believe to be true. Your brain is a brilliant mechanism. Like, your brain is sharp, attentive, and you've basically got 1 billion neurons at your disposal. I think it's actually more billion. There's like 8 billion neurons, or 3 billion neurons, or 5 billion. You've got billions of neurons, billions of cells designed and built by your body and by billions of years of evolution to solve problems and help you become the best version of yourself possible. I can't believe I just said that, but actually build a really fucking good life. You have literally billions of years of evolution rooting for you on your side. The only thing that's stopping you is having the correct information to synthesize and use that toolkit to make the right decisions. So you need to penetrate this circle of information, and what you need to do is you need to take these little bits of information here, like this, and you bring them into your life. Also, so here's some information on how to sell and convince and persuade people. Let's bring it in. Here's some information on how to price your services. Let's bring it in. Here's some information on how to invest and how to build 401k investment portfolios. Let's bring it in. Here's some information on how to make money in a certain realm. Let's bring it in. Here's some information on how to hire someone. You just need to start bringing this information in, and it's all available. Finding the information is the easy part. It's getting rid of the people, the algorithms, the ego, and the confirmation bias that's the hard part. As soon as you get rid of those 4 things, it's like you open the floodgates to the information that the rich have access to. Because I can tell you, the rich people, the millionaires, my friends, myself, the people online who you see in these bloody Lamborghinis, they don't have the people that you have. They don't have the algorithms you have. They don't have the ego you have, and they don't have the confirmation biases you have. They've removed those things, and because of that, they've opened their brain to the information that actually makes them rich. So yeah, that's how you get rich. By the way, if you've got an agency or a consulting business, on the off chance that you do have a B2B service providing business, there's a link in the description. We can help you get more clients. There's a video of me trying to sell you something, full transparency. You might not care. Anyway, bye.